Okay. Um, Today I'm going to talk about the earthquake that happened in Charleston, South Carolina in 1886. Um, so a little bit of background information is this earthquake happened on August 31st, 1886 at 9:51 p.m. in Charleston, South Carolina. This is the largest earthquake to occur in the southeast portion of the United States. And it's estimated to be around a magnitude of like 7. So it's a pretty big earthquake. And then when this event first occurred, it was a mystery on how the earthquake happened because scientists were unaware of an underground fault for 60 miles. But thanks to modern science and technology, scientists were able to find a concealed fault along the coastal plains in Virginia and the Carolinas that would have likely caused the earthquake to happen. And Charleston does lie in one of the most seismically active areas. Um, the human impact slash damage the earthquake caused. More than 100 people died because of this earthquake, and many more were injured. Buildings were destroyed. A bunch of chimneys fell off of houses. The earthquake was so large and powerful that the damage was also done to different buildings in states that like far away as Ohio and Alabama. Where railroad tracks were found to be bent in locations, and land was found liquefied. And over to the right, you can see a picture of a train that was actually derailed because of the earthquake. Fires erupted, water lines and wells were caused by the earthquake, and dams were broken, farms were flooded, as well as roads. And in today's currency, the total amount of damage done is estimated to be over $112 million, which is a lot of money, especially back then. The environmental impact that this earthquake left on South Carolina is that South Carolina does experience a lot of seismic activities still to this day. There's an average of 10 to 30 earthquakes a year, but only about 2 to 5 of them are big enough to actually feel. And scientists say that this is due to the aftershock from the massive earthquake that took place in 1886. Um, these are just a few of the fun facts and lessons learned from this earthquake. So, the Charleston earthquake in 1886 sparked a great interest in advancement in the science of seismology, so studying earthquakes. People were curious and wanted to investigate more about these earthquakes, like why they happen and how maybe they can better prepare for future earthquakes if one were to happen again, like this one. With the 1886 earthquake, the community was questioning if the earthquake occurred because God was mad or it was just a natural event that happened. Because this was back in 1886, there wasn't a lot of research on earthquakes, so it was kind of hard to figure out if it was just natural or if it was had something to do with religion because that was big in 1886. Um, the buildings in Charleston are now built different to ensure that they will be better to withstand an earthquake if another one like this were to happen in the future. Many of the buildings now include iron rods for extra strength in earthquakes, and then this picture to the right is an example of a building that was built to try and better withstand an earthquake if one were to happen in the future. So they did learn a little bit from this earthquake on maybe how to build buildings better to withstand earthquakes. Um, yeah, and then these were sources I used to find this information on the earthquake. So it was a big earthquake that South Carolina experienced in 1886, and it still affects people to this day.